Welcome to Toni Unleashed, the podcast where we unleash the truth about all things pets.
Our research and anecdotal evidence matched with pet expert interviews will help you help your pet thrive.
We are here to answer questions, divulge information, and spread awareness about what's really going on in the world of pets.
I am your co-host, Emily Taylor, pet nutrition enthusiast.
And I'm Toni Shalasky, owner of Healthy Pet Products with 3 locations in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, and recently expanded to Port Charlotte, Florida.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Toni Unleashed, the podcast. Today is going to be talking about something that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but can make or break your experience with either a new dog or with a dog that has experienced any sort of trauma in their life. Decompression is even extremely important for puppies as well. We will take a deep dive into this subject matter with our returning guest, Sara. She was on our show not too long ago talking to us about traveling safely with dogs during the busy summer vacation season. She's got 2 rescue dogs from Puerto Rico and travels with them often, so she knows the importance of decompression for dogs and what an impact that has on their health and well-being.
Yes, this is a topic that I'm also really passionate about. If you are just tuning into this episode and don't know much about Toni or myself, we are both very active in the dog rescue world. I was very active with Puerto Rico Rescue, and Toni is very active currently with Orphans of the Storm and Kid Tanning.
Pennsylvania.
But yeah, Pennsylvania. We know firsthand how important decompression is for rescue dogs, but it's also equally important for puppies, which I think we forget about, especially puppies being removed from their litter mates, from their moms, or dogs who have experienced an unfortunate trauma in their life. Stress and anxiety can wear a dog out, and as humans, when we are stressed out and anxious, we get tired and irritable, and that can happen to dogs as well. So the most affordable way to help your dog decompress is through space, as hard as that can be, especially for me because I'm a helicopter dog parent. Toni does
She definitely is.
Toni's a little bit better at
I
it,
am
and
not.
we'll learn about how Sara does it as well.
I'm like, you're going to figure it out.
Not me. We will also talk about things that you can buy and things that you can buy to help support your dog with this transitional stage. I mean, Sara, tell us about your experience with decompression. I mean, you have 2 rescue dogs. One is nervous and stressed out and a little bit reactive. The other one seems to be gun-ho and all for life. But why is this topic important to you? And
define it for our listeners too. Because decompression, you know, what
we need, I guess,
define it as well.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, decompression. So if you would have asked me this 3 years ago, before I adopted Mylo, which is my fear reactive pup, I would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what decompression is. What do you mean I have to give him space? If I just keep him home, I want to cuddle with him. I want to kiss him.
Right.
I want to just show him love since he hasn't been shown love ever. But now when you ask me, I pretty just take decompression like the way you guys kind of said it, which was just giving space, but being there on the sidelines. I don't know if that makes sense.
Giving safe space.
Safe space. Yes.
100%. And structure. Structure can be part of decompression as well.
And structure is love as well. Structure is love. Structure is also part of like training. And it's also going to help you make that decompression stage a lot more easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a weird thought when you said love, but even children that have been through trauma,
yes,
there's certain ways to hug them. You don't hug them. There's a side hug.
Yeah.
Because they feel threatened from a full front hug.
Full-blown bear hug.
Yeah. So, and hugging to dogs is back to dogs, but that's not a natural thing for them either. So you can't
just jump in.
No, you can't just fucking hug a dog.
Right. I mean, you can't. I mean,
you shouldn't.
You definitely should. Yeah, especially an adult dog that you maybe just adopted, a stranger's dog that maybe seems like a well-social. You just
not a good idea.
No. And in comfort, to dogs and people mean 2 different things.
Yes.
And I think, giving your dog space and that time to decompress is really, really hard, especially for nurturing people who just, like you said, like kind of assume you're giving your dog a home, you're giving it shelter, you're giving it love. Why wouldn't it want your love and affection?
Exactly.
It's tough, but it's necessary.
It is. It's probably one of the things that I most struggled with when I adopted Mylo. I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand. I thought he, like, I want to be blunt, but I thought he hated me. I thought he hated my family. I thought I thought he was very comfortable, like, with his new home.
Huh.
He couldn't be near my dad because I used to live with my dad when I adopted Mylo. Like, he was terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I wasn't the perfect fit for this dog.
Aww.
Like, what am I gonna do?
So what got you through that? Like, so I'm on the rescue side of things, and sometimes dogs get returned almost immediately when people feel that way. They do. Like, I guess, what made you stick through it? And how long did that take, and what gave you that hope and built your connection today that you have with your dog?
So what made me stick through the most was probably just thinking about the dog that passed away already. So I was like, okay. And I get a little emotional about it because it was like already 4 years ago, but I still get emotional when I think about that. He was my other dog. He was, like, I don't want to say reactive, but he was a tough dog also to get through. So I just told myself, like, if I made it with 14 years with this dog, like, why am I not going to be able to do it with this dog that needs me now? And for me, it was more of a need. And I know how many times and how high the percentage is when people adopt a dog, immediately they see they don't love them, they're not comfortable, they return. I was like, I can't do that. Like, other people already failed him so much. Like, how am I going to be an extra person to fail him? And how impossible is it going to be for the next adopter, even if that dog gets adopted again? So I think just thinking like that was what made me stick through it, and having the support of my family.
Nice. Aw.
That's
great. You had their support.
Oh my God, Mylo is so lucky.
Yes, Milo's very lucky. Like, and especially my dad, because the one with the toughest to decompress with was with my dad. He hated men. And it's something very, I guess, common in the rescue dog world.
Definitely.
Especially like stray dogs. And my dad's a big dude. Like, my dad's like 6 something.
Yeah.
He's a bodybuilder. He's huge. He's like, so I was like, okay, maybe he's just scared because he's so big. And his voice is so, like, loud and like, but if it wasn't for the patience my dad had, and we would both sit down and watch videos on YouTube of, like,
love your dad. Your dad.
I love my dad. And we would both watch it, like, what to do. And it was like, give him space. And my dad's a cuddler. So he obviously wanted to, like, hug him and pet him and walk him. And he wanted to do everything with this dog. But he, like, understood, like, the more space he gave Mylo, the less Mylo would growl at him.
Yeah.
Or the less Mylo would, like, try to.
Building trust right there.
Exactly. So I think that was what helped me out a lot.
Did he almost, and it's not a good word, but did he almost ignore him and just let Mylo come to him whenever it was
that's what you have to
comfortable?
do.
And that's hard for humans to understand.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. Holy moly, probably the best. I didn't understand it. I'm a helicopter dog mom. So it was very hard for me to just, like, ignore him and let him come to me when I was dying on the inside, to just lunge at him. And and especially, and my dad too. But we noticed that once we ignored him, he was making progress. And I'm not talking about, like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No, it took him like a 4 month kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a long process.
And I think it's important to mention here that ignoring your dog, and the reason why that's beneficial, is ignoring a dog like Mylo, and that other listeners probably have had experience with, is building trust, because you're not giving them a reason to be fearful. You're not giving them a reason to growl. You're not giving them a reason to protect themselves. And you're not giving them a reason to feel like they have to cower and hide or find a safe space in a new environment. So just ignoring them and not giving them a reason to be upset is a trust building exercise.
And it's very hard to, like, make that connection at
Yes.
first.
It is very hard, and it is such an emotional process. Yeah, you're right.
But it's probably, I think it's key.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's key for dogs like Mylo for that decompression stage. It's something that's going to help you out so much. Like you're not even going to imagine. It's going to like mind blow you how much it. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of safe space, talk about how important the crate is in this time of bringing in a new pet into a household.
Okay, so Mylo came crate trained. Was one of the first things I had for him at home was his crate. Obviously, it was the place where he spent most of his day. The first 3 weeks, he would only come out to eat. He would only come out for walks.
Oh, did you have to coax him out?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, and there's the chicken. Like chicken has been my number one best friend with Mylo because it's what moves me. Yeah, like chicken breast. I cook chicken breast every day in this house. I had to put like a little trail at first for him to kind of, and I give him a bunch when he would let me put on his leash because I was also like a panic mode for him because I was like on his back and he did not like when you were behind him. You had to have your eyes on.
Yeah. That's such a street dog, stray dog. I mean, that's a protective mechanism.
Yes. So the crate was also our number one best friend. He slowly but surely started coming out. I think it was, I would like to say 3 weeks, maybe even a month, to get some sunlight or look out the balcony. And then after that, he only used it for nighttime. It's only to go to sleep. So that's when I knew, like, okay, he's liking his environment now. He doesn't have to be in the crate most of the day. And then the door was always open. Like, I didn't even close the crate. He just decided to go in the crate on his own. It was his home, but something he already knew.
Do you keep your crate covered?
Yes.
That can make them feel more safe. And, it's a shame because so many humans, and we talk about this with customers all the time, feel like the crate is a punishment. And we just have to educate so many, even still, that it is a safe space for them. And in the wild, they are den animals, and they would dig a hole under a bush in a hillside that is only big enough for them to barely stand up and turn around.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that is safety to them. So it's
like kind of like how weighted blankets are safety for humans.
Yeah.
All you can do is turn around.
Literally.
Yeah.
The crate. The thing, what you said, education is key when it comes to that. I've seen on social media posts, like people get, like, I don't know, they get pretty much canceled sometimes when they see somebody using a crate. They think it's violence and like negligence, and it's really not. Like, I wish people knew how much it helps for dogs like Mylo or new puppies as well. It helps out so much.
Oh, it's huge for puppies. I mean, huge.
I mean, they could chew wires and get electrocuted if left out
free in the wild in your house.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's so important, especially for puppies, especially whether it's a puppy bought from a breeder where you're taking that puppy away from its litter mates or for its mom, and you're pulling. I mean, I think a lot of times at the pet store, specifically when we're talking to customers that have just brought home puppies, there's a big concern around diarrhea and appetite. And it's because these puppies are experiencing stress. They're experiencing anxiety. And
when I'm stressed, the first place I go is the bathroom.
Anyone ever heard of an anxiety poop? Because I do it.
Yes. 100%. It's true.
And I think just giving them time to decompress and not being overbearing is so important to puppies as well, and building that trust and that bond at such an early age.
So did it take time for him to find his bark? did it take time for him to become a playful dog, or is he not a playful dog? How did that all go?
Okay, so when I adopted Mylo, we all with the family played around. We were like, this is probably the first dog that we've met that doesn't bark. We were like, holy moly, like this dog doesn't bark. This dog doesn't want to play. Like we were a little bit freaked out, to be honest. Like, I've never met a dog that hasn't barked. Ever.
Yeah.
I was like, what if they cut their, like, you start thinking of a bunch of things. What if they cut their vocal cords or something?
They do that.
What if has something happened to him? And it took, the first time he barked was probably the same week he started coming out of his crate during the day was the day he barked at a squirrel once. And I was like, phew, okay, this dog barked. Fine.
He's a dog.
He's a dog, thank gosh. And to play, I would think around month 4 when he fully trusted us. He didn't play before. And when he started playing, it was nuts.
Oh, yeah. I love that. And I think that's so true too. I think a lot of people see online the 3x3x3 rule with rescue dogs. And I mean, truly, like by month 3, and in your case 4 is when you really start seeing their personality show.
The personality, and there was a bond. We bonded in the distance, in the quote unquote ignoring him. We bonded
in the first trimester or the second trimester.
Sorry?
Was it the first trimester or the second trimester?
I would say the second trimester. Yeah. Literally. But yeah, it was a journey, and it was a journey with Mylo, which is the complete opposite from Gabby. It's the complete opposite. Like, if it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, because this puppy.
How old was she when you guys adopted her?
When we started fostering her, she was 2 months and I think 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was a small baby. But she's been a love bug always. Like and I think honestly, it's Mylo. Like if it wasn't for another dog here at home, she wouldn't be a social butterfly. She was like, once she tapped onto Mylo, that was it. Like, potty training was quick.
I noticed that. Quick. Yeah. When you get a second dog, all of that goes a lot quicker.
Yes. It's just the complete opposite. The decompression didn't even exist with her. Like as long as Mylo was in the room with her, she was fine.
And I think we talked about that in the first episode of like traveling with dogs, but I think it's so true to this topic as well. When you have two dogs learn so much quicker when they're with another dog. It's almost like if the dog is well established, the other dog will trust that dog's,
they follow their lead.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
They're modeling behavior. They're modeling behavior for them. That's true.
And not to talk about kids more again, because I don't even have kids, but I'm but I'm good with kids. It's the same with kids. I mean, in a new environment, they're quiet. They don't.
Like the first day of kindergarten, you're scared of your teacher.
You don't say a word.
Yes, and then once you get to know your teacher and you know what buttons you can push. Yes. And you eventually start talking, and you eventually start playing. You know what I mean? It's just, it's okay. I think that humans struggle with the fact that our dogs can't talk, so we have to read their body language and understand them in a different way, and not everyone can.
Yeah.
No, they're not verbal, but like you said, it's body language. Like a growl for Mylo, I know he's like extremely uncomfortable. I know his growl isn't gonna bite, but I know his growl means I'm uncomfortable. Take me out of.
I love that you said that, because I think we need to have a whole other episode on if you have a dog that growls, you have a dog that is communicating with you. And it does not mean you have an aggressive dog. It means you have a dog that is trying to relay a message to you and is properly communicating with you. And how you take that growl can go in a million different ways, and that is the problem. But a growling dog is not a bad dog.
100%. I say it's probably a really good dog because it's trying to transmit to you. Like, what he's not liking at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying discomfort, saying, scared.
Scared.
It can
fear.
be saying, fear, insecure. It can be saying, sometimes dogs can be very vocal in different ways as well. So understanding if your dog is saying like they're being playful or, when they're playing as well, so much can come
So
from a growl.
much. Yeah.
And I think we're so immediately conditioned to be scared of growling when we should not be. We should embrace it. We should embrace it.
And we should learn to read it as well. Like, that's try not punishing it, because when you punish and you punish, you're never going to figure out
what they're trying to say.
The core of it. Exactly. So then it's going to be a lot more confusing for you to understand what your dog is trying to transmit.
Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about tools, supplements we can add to help with decompression, because I know just giving space and ignoring can be hard. Have you ever used an Adapto collar?
No, never. I've never used.
We've got mixed reviews from Adapto collar.
We do.
I mean, they're in theory they're great, but
they release of the pheromone that the mother would release, and that
goes back to communicating dog to dog.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be naturally calming to a dog. There's also a diffuser. They make them for cats and for dogs, but they make the collar. A lot of vets, it's very highly recommended in the vet world. Supposedly, though, it is a little on the more natural side, but it's just a natural mother pheromone.
Wow.
That is supposed to calm them. And like Em said, I would say we definitely do have mixed reviews. I would say maybe 50-50.
Yeah, I would say 50-50.
So, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, yeah. ADAPTIL, Adaptil. They've been around a long time. And then, of course, we also have CBD, the Thunder shirts.
Let's talk about Thunder shirts really quickly as well. And these are for more, I would use a Thunder shirt for an adult dog, less of a puppy.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, 100%. So the Thunder vest we use, like I said, Mylo trembles a lot. Like, it looks like he's gonna have a heart attack when he's very, very, very nervous. So this helps him, I guess, like kind of a weighted blanket for us. Mm-hmm. It just helps him tremble a little less. I don't know. I feel like he feels pressure in a way, and that gives him some sort of space. And I'm guessing because Toni said that before they would they start digging in, they'll be in a very small space where they can barely just turn around. I feel like it comes from there, that feeling of safety.
Kind of like the womb for people.
So it comes from there, but it also, yes, babies are wrapped for a reason when they're infants, but it also comes from, what's the hell's her name? I'll think of it. It also comes from Temple Grandin. You should read her book if you haven't. She was on the spectrum, and she created, I think she created them, or she did a lot of studies on autistic children, and they make similar type vests for autistic kids to calm them, and it calms them down.
It does.
Just that hugging, that pressure just calms them down. So I think that was also part of where the Thunder vest came from for dogs.
That makes sense. I didn't even associate that until you mentioned it. Yes.
Yeah.
But it does work a lot for Mylo. It works a lot.
I tried it for DeSoto. I should try it again. I still have it, but I tried it years ago, and it didn't do anything for him. Mm-hmm. I did want to tell you, Sara, something you can do in addition to that CBD for storms and things.
Yes.
We love a product from the company Herbsmith, and it is called July 3rd.
July 3rd. Oh,
and it's
funny.
An herbal, and you can do it in addition to CBD, but it's an herbal, and it comes in a treat form. And it's called July 3rd because you're supposed to start it the day before the storm.
Before July 4th. Yeah, that's why that's hilarious.
Isn't that cute?
Good name. Yeah, it's a good name.
My DeSoto is terrified of storms, and Bo, who went with Bob, but Bo is the opposite. He wants to attack the storm and bark at the storm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we have great success with July 3rd. In addition to CBD, and our customer feedback, like we load up on it at the stores
Right.
in this time of year for sure.
Wow.
Or in
I'm gonna
hurricane
look-
season in Florida. It really works.
Because you're like, if you know at least a thunderstorm is coming or a hurricane is coming, you know you can give it to them like 30 minutes before and it's going to kick in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this helps, like any recommendation I can get
Yeah.
for that type of, because we get in summer, so we get thunderstorms pretty much every day now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
3:00.
Yes. It's insane. It's bonkers. Crazy.
All right.
Okay,
Did we hit all of our topics for decompression?
I think we covered.
I think patience is something we should
Yeah.
just have patience.
I think patience is key.
It really is, because I think patience and maybe like adding on like resilience in a way, because I know as humans, we're used to, at least I know I'm used to wanting things now.
Yeah.
So,
I think
like,
it's a big problem.
like the
humans
cause
have.
and effect. Like,
Yes.
okay, so if I, for example, like random, like if I'm hungry, okay, I'm gonna make myself a sandwich like right now. I'm gonna eat it right now. But with dogs, it doesn't happen like that. Like you're not gonna get a direct cause and effect reaction out of them. No, you have to be very patient. You have to just make sure you're working on whatever you want to work with your dog every single day. And it doesn't have to be an hour and a half of training. No, it could be like a 5-minute training session or a 5-minute
Consistency, patience, and consistency.
And consistency.
Yeah.
100%.
Agreed. Okay.
And rescue.
I mean,
yes.
I think just like
There's
the
so
story
many.
of Mylo and you just goes to show that like there's so many dogs that need homes.
And cats.
There's so many cats that need homes, and they're animals, and they're not humans, and we need to give them time. And if you are already going out to rescue a dog, you're doing the right thing, and just give them a couple of months to just get used to their new situation.
Feel at home.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. The amount of dogs that like get returned in a week or 2 weeks or days is just, it's instrumental. It's a lot. And it's the dog that you meet within that first week is a different dog than you will have in 5 months, 6 months, and a year.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Like, for example.
And they're all deserving.
They're all deserving.
She's
They're
going
all
to cry.
deserving.
You know that.
Yes, for sure. For sure. It's like a hit of fiber, I think, with like very rescue dog women world stuff. Like when I got Mylo, I was like, okay, so this dog is never going to be able to travel. This dog is never going to have dog friends. This dog is going to hate my dad. He's never going to be able to be with my dad in a room.
Or your fiance.
Or my fiance, because it took him like 3 months to get used to my fiance when he got here from Colombia.
So stressful.
I'm not going to be able to do normal things like go on runs with him because a man couldn't cross our site because he would go ballistic.
Yeah.
And all those things I said back then I was never going to be able to do is what he now is best doing.
Aww. And
I love that.
That's a huge testament to you.
That is
you and the work you put into your dog and your
Thank
perseverance and your love.
Yes.
That is a huge testament to you.
Yes. 100%.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you.
I remember my first rescue dog because my very first dog was a stray. So my second dog was basically my first rescue dog, and my ex-husband and I decided to go and rescue a dog, and we lived in New Jersey at the time, and there was a small little animal shelter and near our house, and they probably had maybe 10, 15 runs in it. And so there weren't that many dogs. So, and it was the standard like hallway of kennels on each side. And we both walked down and back. And I said, I can't decide. You decide. And I walked out.
Yeah.
And he picked Sadie. And we, you do the paperwork, go through the everything. So then he was at work on the day that we got the call that we could adopt her, and I had to go pick her up, and I was by myself.
Did you know what dog it was, or was it just like a
No, I knew.
Okay.
And he picked her. This is silly, but he didn't think anyone would take her because she had been bred, we think, as a potential Vizsla, popping out Vizslas, and she wasn't a full Vizsla. And so she had these huge teats.
And he was like, no.
That's why he picked her, because she looked like he didn't think anyone would pick her because of that.
That's cute.
Yeah, and she was the sweetest dog, and she was so in love with John. But I remember picking her up, and she was definitely in like a puppy mill of some type because she had major surface issues. And what surface issues mean for our listeners is if dogs live their lives in cages, a lot of times it is just a wire bottom, and even their toes will become separated. They call it splayed. And she had both of her back paws were that way. So they don't even know what grass feels like. They don't know what asphalt feels like. So they had gotten her adapted to that kind of stuff. But when I came time to get her into the car, she was like, she had no idea how to like lift herself up. I had to lift her up into the car. We had steps going into the house. She had no idea how to do steps.
Of course.
It was unbelievable.
It's so sad.
But she was a lovely soul, and she
was deserving.
Oh, she was so sweet.
Yeah.
And we never had to worry about her being off leash. Like, she was just with us all the time and slept in bed with us. She was so sweet. So sweet.
That's such a sweet story.
Yeah. So I guess, you just don't know. And we just hope that everyone reaches out for help when they don't know what to do.
Exactly.
And I hope someone listens to this, and not only do they decide maybe rescuing is the route that they want to take, but also maybe they're experiencing a dog that is just like, they're struggling with adjusting to their new life. And it's like, it might work itself out. I mean, there should be like that hope and that love and that patience that we just need to meet the dog where it's at and give it space and time and patience to be the dog it's meant to be.
Exactly. And you will create that bond. Like, once you create that bond, you will build up that dog's self-confidence so much that it's going to help you out.
Yep.
Final question before we close out. Your soul dog, was it the Schnauzer or is it Mylo?
So that's a tough question. So I always say my soul has two parts. So I always divide it in two.
Aww.
Because my first dog, which was Albert the Schnauzer, he was with me through thick and thin. I was bullied. I went through depression because of my bullying years. I moved to different countries twice, and that dog was with me the entire time. Like,
yes,
that dog is the reason I'm still here, pretty much. So like, half of my soul is his.
Yes.
And then half of my other soul is Mylo's, because I'm sorry. See, I get so emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sara, you're young. You don't know. You don't know yet. There might be more, but
your heart's going to be split in 3 into 4
or
because
4 or
we
5.
go through phases of these lives that our dogs stick with and are here with us through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, and Mylo now, he's the one he's the teacher. Like, he's the one that taught me, like, I can do so many things that I didn't think I could do before. Like, he probably thinks I'm his teacher in a way, but no, he's like the legend. He's like legend. Everything. And he's a legend. Thanks to him, I foster failed to have another dog. It's just crazy.
Oh, Sara, you're lovely. We're so happy to have you, and you are our new friend.
Yes, yes.
I can't wait to meet you guys one day.
I know. I know. It'll be great. Whether it's in Florida or Pittsburgh or whatever.
Puerto Rico.
Or Puerto Rico, yes. We have
Let's go.
Let's go to Puerto Rico and save some dogs.
All right, Sara, tell us your social media tag and your website for your photography business.
Awesome. So our Instagram is, Mylo and Gabby's Instagram is at Mylo, MYLO _and Latina Mom. Our photography business is at Tails and Paws Photography. On that page, we also do volunteer work for a local shelter, and we do photography for the dogs because a good picture gets you places.
Yes.
It so does, especially doing Puerto Rican rescue. A good picture gets you so far. Gets a dog a home.
Exactly. So if you guys are always looking for a dog and you see it on there and you want it, just click on it, send a message, and we'll get you your new forever friend.
Love it.
Love it. All right. Well, that was a fantastic episode, and we encourage everyone to rescue any animal that is out there. There are many in need, and there are many of us out here to help you
get through the process.
Yep. And it is so rewarding.
You have Toni and Leisha's full support.
Yes.
Cat, dog, lizard, guinea pig, rabbit. Yes. Horses.
Yeah.
Rescue.
Marissa. Yeah. We have. Yeah. So
we're here for you.
Sara, thanks again so much for being on the episode. And we really appreciate you and everything you're doing.
Oh, thanks to you guys. This was a blast. This was like the greatest catharsis I could have ever done. Thank you.
Thank you, Sara. We had a great time.
All right.
I loved it.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.